Oh, we're doing this. It's gonna be good. Alright, so, there's a thing that I'm doing, and it's called stealing a car. But, okay, let's figure out if we're gonna make a topic. And I'm gonna think about it. I probably thought about it beforehand. A little bit, but not exact. But I didn't really actually do something I didn't like brainstorm or anything like that to make a topic before I made this. So making it, you know the topic when I do. So okay, I think. Understandably, I'm going through what I've talked about before, and I just said something out loud. That was stupid. Stupid shit. But let's see here. Alright, so, what kind of topic are we going to make? We talked about elevation. What kind of topic are we going to do? Talk about other stuff. Talk about cameras and how they'll change people's lives. In some ways for the better. I think it was on a tree. But, let's see. Oh, okay. I got an idea. Okay. I kind of have it's not a criticism of YouTube, but it's a criticism of the algorithm that YouTube uses. And how obviously, a lot of people have like talked about it, like getting into it, kind of. And saying that, ooh, that's something that people should talk about, and it's just like I don't really get it, why they're not actually talking about it, and why they think that it's just supposed to be silent about it. I don't know if it makes them money, or they think that it makes them money by not talking about it. And I mean, you should criticize the thing you're on, obviously. I mean, if you're not controlling it, because sometimes in some ways it will give you the only amount of control that you have over your own medium. I guess that you're using. So I'm going to talk about the fact is the algorithm that's the algorithm that's pushing more content on that you like on yourself. But it's like, I don't know. It's like the internet it's not making YouTube any more user friendly in some places, in some kind of ways, because in the same sense, it's kind of making it more like just the internet, I guess, and it's, I don't know. And granted, there are other people that do different things on the internet, and we're going over that motorcycle guy, but then, okay, I'm gonna look at him, that's alright. But yeah, it makes it more, what's the word, I'd say hectic, I guess, from... Yes, awesome. Alright, so... it makes it more hectic to be able to see different things or new things. And I don't know what kind of algorithm they use, but I guess it's what it's doing is it's making it seem like there isn't that much new coming out. Like, and also too, I don't get live videos or live feeds or anything like that from different regions of even the United States or even sometimes the same city sometimes. And that sucks sometimes because I don't understand why I don't get live feeds or to get live feeds from the regions that I really want to get live feeds from. I mean, I guess they're actually looking to see or trying to, I don't know, I'd say unite a certain kind of people, I guess. But I don't get to see things like live camera feeds or anything like that in my own area, or anything, or if there would be live camera feeds on someone's private property or in a certain place. I don't know. I don't get it. And I don't know. You know, I don't get it. So it just I mean, I just think that people think that it's an invasion of privacy, but if you put it at a certain angle, then it wouldn't invade anyone else's privacy. And also too, I mean, if it's an invasion of privacy, then obviously more so, I mean, I don't get it. And I really don't understand why it's not like more of a thing. Do they not have live feeds of the Mississippi River Bridge or something like that? And if they don't, then why? I guess. And ask me certain questions that I see, I guess, in certain areas, and I guess that the way that our last generation has grown up, they pride in their privacy, and it's they have pride. They pride themselves on their privacy, and I don't get it sometimes, and I don't understand sometimes what's going to happen, because it's going to be the end of the last generation, I guess, and it's going to suck because I mean that's the reason why they're not no one's getting any government jobs, and everyone thinks that, oh, we won or some shit like that. It's like, no, it's the beginning of the end for most people, and it's the reason why there's constant ambulances around and old folks homes constantly, and health places opening up where computer places should open up. It sucks. It really does, and that's the reality that I'm facing right now, and to see basically older people who couldn't see that, I guess, that technology had their best interests at heart, and those are the people that are suffering now, and but also because of their ignorance, and I'm not saying that just because I'm playing a game. I'm not saying that just because I'm trying to start a discussion, and it would save lives sometimes for people to be able to get in and get in all right with technology, and not sometimes at their own pace, but at a pace that they would seem to be able. I mean, I guess it's hard to say, because I mean, there's so many other kinds of people out there that don't get the fact that, like, I don't get their live streams, you know, and the fact is that there are satellites out there to pick up those live streams and send them straight to my thing, and on a 5 to 10 second delay, and there should be at least, and there isn't, and that's the reason why I think that that I'm not too keen on some people's version of what they think America is going to be. I don't think that they know what a version of America really is. But they don't think they've even experienced the entire country sometimes. And even if they have, they haven't experienced it under the light of actually seeing different paths and different things that come together. And that's what technology can do. It can basically when you're in an area, it could tell you about that area if you allow it to, or if you would ever come up with an idea about that kind of software to be able to tell you about certain histories of different things, and that's Google basically, or that's a different search engine that you're using right now. That's Yahoo, that's Google, that's anyone, and it's Google Maps. That's any kind of maps. You can use any kind of thing, and that's the point. Is I don't understand what people are waiting for. I really don't understand, and I think they're just waiting for people to die, and it sucks, and it really does suck. I don't get it, and if they don't understand that if they allow certain people to die without experiencing what technology can do for them, who's to say what the next generation will do to them? And the cycle goes on, so.
We are already airborne and will engage.
I don't get it. So, and also too, I mean, like, people don't understand, but like you can't
Units reporting a reckless driver east of the Milo Vineyard.
You can't try to act like
Dispatch, need some guidance here.
ignorance is bliss in a situation or in a place where everything happens within 5 seconds, you know? Because eventually people will understand and know that there are some stuff that people don't want to know. But understandably so, sometimes they have to know in order to be able to be informed. And but in the same sense, the way that YouTube is doing things right now is kind of along those lines. It's like I'm not comparing them to any government or anything like that, but I mean they are strong enough to be a government if they wanted to be, but they're not, and I appreciate that very much. But also too, I see my own channel, or not my own channel, my own YouTube experience to be limited by the fact that there's an algorithm and I used to be able to type in anything, to type in any kind of thing, and also too, I mean, I guess that what it does is it makes them easily access more things that they can control and not censor, but stop from I guess those things that were on YouTube channel, that were on the YouTube platform back in the day that were considered I'd say risque or out of the norm, I guess. And also too, I also looked at different places that have and I also looked at different places, and they want to say it's like the dark web or some shit like that. It's just like, I don't get it, man. I don't get like why that stuff isn't out in the open so people can see it and know and like prosecute those people. But in the same sense, if they were to prosecute those people, then they'd think that they would do more stuff. And I think that
copy that.
oh, man, like yeah, there was so much stuff that was on YouTube that was considered risque nowadays, but understandably are risky or even out of the norm, I guess. And I'm on fire, so I'm gonna get another car, but I gotta get to another car. So I'm gonna go to this area, and I'm gonna jump out right now. Gotta run, shit! Alright, but yeah, the way that YouTube's doing things, kind of limits the way that I can actually see my channel, and even in the same sense of things that I just want to experience. Like if I don't remember the name of something, like if I don't understand the name of something, like they can take tidbits of different words and put them together, and you can create an algorithm that to where I'd be experiencing what I have to offer. Understandably so, I think they would do it would create an economy all over it, and also too, that's in the same sense. I don't believe that sometimes they understand their own algorithm, because in the same sense of their algorithm, it's not destroying free speech by any means, but it's limiting what people have as far as expression. And I'm seeing on a lot of stuff on my newsfeed, from my emails to different stuff like that, as far as my YouTube channel, that has to do with what things are and what things aren't, and I think that what people don't understand is even when someone isn't speaking the right kind of lingo, they still have some certain points that are to be like I guess what's the word, not respected, but adhered, or not adhered, but heeded, I guess. Yeah, there we go. You know, and I see that a certain number of people on my YouTube feed have a certain thing in common, like they use different cameras, or they use the same kind of microphones, or they use different kinds of things, or they use the same brand, basically, sometimes, is what I'm talking about. And that's the reason why I kind of want to be able to see past that whole thing, and I want to be able to see past that, what people are actually doing sometimes, and or what their brand is. I mean, I see their brand and I appreciate their brand, but I want to see other things as well. You know, I don't want my channel to be constantly filled with things that are constantly of the same brand, because it gets bland. It really does. It gets. Anything going to mix it up or be a little bit more spontaneous with what I'm taking in as far as news, as far as anything goes. So if anyone wants to talk about a discussion, and also how that makes them feel, you know, because this is a channel about mental health, and how does that make them feel? How does that make them feel that there is an algorithm basically filling your news thing up, news feed up, or your YouTube feed up with stuff that is of the same kind of brand, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that there is just that, but me liking one brand, but I'll have to go. It's like I'll have to go to another website just to find something that isn't them, that isn't the thing that I'm consuming on YouTube, and I don't like that sometimes. I'm not saying that it's a terrible thing, and oh my God, people are controlling YouTube. It's like, yeah, they can control YouTube. It's fine, but what I'm saying is is I don't want to be controlled or limited to or pigeonholed into one brand. To be able to experience that entire, I want to be able to experience an entire spectrum of content, and I'd say in some cases, sometimes that's probably the reason in automation that will probably stop it from, or not stop it, but slow it down from being implemented, and I don't know. I just think that sometimes there's a
We're flying over now.
can't do it. I think that there's sometimes I think there's sometimes a
50 miles per hour in
I'd say a time limit sometimes that people put on their own content sometimes. And if it doesn't see that, if they don't see it in a minute, or if they don't see it in an hour, or if they don't see it in like a day or two, then they think that it doesn't exist or something like that. And that's kind of the way that I'm trying to say, is because a lot of different channels have been able to control YouTube just by being able to up-like or be able to pay YouTube to be able to put all the content or group all their content together. Or pay in a certain way to be able to make sure the videos all come in the same kind of channel, or they come in, or all go to the same kind of YouTube consumer. I guess I don't know what that algorithm probably entails, but also too it messes up my YouTube channel sometimes. It messes up my consuming, you know, because I don't want to just be able to see one I gotta get this. I don't want to just be able to see one type of stuff. You know, it's never really. Come on, calm down, bro. Calm down. It's okay. Calm down. It's all right. No. Don't get my cords. Don't get my cords. And I'm dead. Thanks, bro. You're retarded. I don't like you. Anyways, but yeah, that's what's always kind of gotten to me, I guess. Is I see a lot of different stuff on YouTube, but I see a lot of the same kind of stuff. Like, it doesn't have a lot to do with just the it doesn't have a lot to do with just the keywords too. It has a lot to do with the same brand and the same kind of brand of comedy, I guess, or brand of news, or brand of anything. Like, people are either serious or they're like completely sadistically serious, like they're in the tone or have overtones of like unbelievably seriousness, or they're like completely taking things for granted, or taking things for like oh, this is gonna be forever or something like that. But that's the point. Is within that no, don't let him out because there's fleas. Because of that specific type of brand of different things, and those specific types of things that people enjoy, there is I'd say a specific type of branding that your YouTube channel gets through an algorithm that specifically says, oh, he likes this kind of stuff. Because, I mean, robots don't get human beings. Humans get robots. Humans get robots, but robots will never get human beings. Yes. Because we will not ever have a robot psychiatrist. Psychiatrists get human beings better than robots. That's a very true statement. And you can say that, oh, you can call him a shrink, but he understands the human genome, or not the human genome, but the human thinking processes better than a robot does. We'll leave it at that. And I think that what people can understand from the mental health aspect of this is sometimes things can snowball. I'd say like people can start to, especially people who think about conspiracy theories constantly, or different things like that, or people who constantly have a low mental health, I guess, or low self-esteem or anything like that. They think that the world was procured just for them. So I think that also too, sometimes people think that that's important. Sometimes is as far as their world views go or their world anything. But understandably so, if they still believe in the fact of free speech and free press, then I'd say that the algorithm is slowly killing them, and I don't want that to go away. You know, I don't want I don't want free press to be stifled because of a literal algorithm or a YouTube program or something like that. And I'm not saying that that's the point. Is like recently I've seen a spike in things of the same nature or things, and also it means that I need to look in a different direction. But also too, sometimes I look to the bot or the algorithm to be able to send me some sort of thing that I might enjoy, but something that I haven't seen before, you know. But and I think that's probably the main thing, and maybe that just is a programming error, or they're not. It's like I don't want to see the same upvote sort of dude, or the same kind of thing, even if I've seen it before. And even if I've seen the same thing before over and over and over again, I want to see something different, and it kind of has the snowball effect in the same sense that I mean, that's just my commentary, but yeah, Russ's head's in the way. You're okay, cool. It's funny, I did a couple funny moves and stuff. What's up? What are you looking for? You wrote all the insurance information down somewhere? Did you write it down in the other room? Okay, it might be. Yeah, that's fine. That's my tip with it. In a nutshell, I guess. But also, too, there are some other things that I actually have in a process of, because my brain processes are kind of farty. But that's what I have inside as far as my argument goes. As far as the whole of my argument towards YouTube, and I'm not saying that there's anything if they don't want to become, I guess, like a branding kind of thing, because there are so many different kinds of content on YouTube, and I would like to experience a lot of content, some adult, some age gated, some not age gated, because I do like cartoons, I do like different stuff, I like bright colors sometimes because it inspires me. It makes me do different kinds of art. Like, it makes me like add a highlight to something, and when I'm doing my own art, you know. So, I mean, it's kind of weird that they would see me as adding this stuff, and then just send me like PUBG or different stuff like that. And also, I myself am not actually into PUBG that much. It doesn't really speak to me, because I mean, also I might get sold for this or something like that, but I'm not really a huge fan of PUBG unless it has zombies, you know. It's like, I'm not really into something that has like low res graphics, but it's supposed to be an MMORPG, like not RPG, but an MMO first person shooter, and what's the word? Not first person shooter, but third person shooter as well. Kind of that multiplayer experience, unless it has the kind of graphics that I'm actually searching for. And also, even if you're that, like, oh, you can't get that kind of experience on a computer, it's like that's the kind of experience that I'm waiting for. Like that, eventually, that's the experience that I want. Like I want a 4K experience with like 50 people on server. Like, that's what I'm waiting for as far as a computer kind of game goes, and it never really spoke to me as far as RuneScape or anything like that, or any of those games where they just like put you in a world and like you're. It's like, I want the things that I talked about and the things that I said in my mind, as far as me imagining stuff, to be on the palette as far as graphics goes, because I don't want to talk about stuff and I'm just imagining things. Meaning, like, I'm not just imagining to some bard or a thief or a mage. I mean, I'm not like it's dumb to think that. And I've seen and read so many books and stuff like that, and I've seen and read and content and different things like that. I don't want to be disappointed as far as graphics goes. So I mean, it's the way that I consume media and stuff. But I'm talking a lot, so I'm gonna see if I can actually make a heist. I'm gonna take over an ammunition that I haven't taken over just yet. So here we go. But first, I'm gonna buy a bunch of bombs from them because I have some stuff I need to do. Oh, I don't want to do any cheats. So, all right. But yeah, tell me your thoughts about what you think YouTube is doing with their algorithms, and hopefully we can start a conversation and a discussion on something that will actually help out I'd say a freedom of speech kind of way, because, or at least on my YouTube channel or anyone else's YouTube channel for that matter, it would change anyone else's perception on the media that they consume constantly, when they would think that there's so many people that are like-minded like them, but there are so many people that aren't as well, and that's the reason why I want to kind of see more of different people's opinions and different things that they actually have. I mean, granted, there are going to be some things that I'm going to throw immediately in the trash, like some people's like I don't know, like little kids makeup tutorial videos, and it's like it's laughable to me, because I don't think that, first of all, unless they're trained by a professionally trained makeup artist, they're not going to tell me anything, because I'm like, I've done my makeup before, I've done a bunch of different stuff before, and I've actually like made myself look like a zombie, or I'm tired, or like I'm a skull face or something like that, It's really fun to do, but also too, you need the right makeup to do it. So that's the reason why I kind of don't look at I don't look at makeup videos. I look at makeup videos from sometimes women to see where they are as far as their makeup is, as what is coverage, and what is good coverage, and whether or not they're good at what's the word, at saying stuff. Because I could get my my makeup for cheap to be able to do my own face or something like that. But also too, in the same sense, I will look at extreme videos, like downhill biking or something like that, to figure out how physics works, as far as when people are doing like amazing jumps or something like that, because I want to see what kind of like poses they use, or what kind of things they do when they're actually like naturally just flying through the air, or naturally just making a jump or something like that. And that's kind of the things that I study every day. So and also too, there's also like just regular stuff that I look up, like memes and different things like that, because I mean, I want comedy and my own writing, and also too, I'm not gonna just purposely what's the word, look at stuff that's only pertaining to what I want to see, because I want to see what everyone else is looking at on the internet out there, because I want things that I make to be positive, and that's it, I guess. And also too, I enjoy it as well, because it's funny and it's cool. So, at least for the most part. I'm gonna get a better car. So there we go. Let's see if we can we're gonna create the heist of all heists. And I'm gonna see if I can go to I'm gonna go to the first one that I've already been to. So, alright. But yeah, I consume a lot of media, basically. I'm a big consumer as far as things go, and whether or not I see different things happening or people uploading videos to YouTube not less than they actually have, or if they're just censoring them more. I mean, I need to see different things on YouTube sometimes even as they come, as far as breaking news or different things like that, or even videos that I want to see that I've seen before. And as far as notifications go, I probably have to turn that on, but I can't do that right now. And but also too, those notifications come sometimes like I see like 30 to 45 minutes into the stream, and yeah, it's kind of hectic that they can't do that with those servers. But I wish and hope for the day that they can make those servers instantaneous. That's why I want to try and different stuff like that.
Officers report
The
505
pipe dream,
on
speaking to it. But it's not really a pipe dream. It's more like a it's like let's see, wait, it's like a pipe wet dream. It's like you know it exists out there, and you really anticipated getting there, but if you're not there yet, and that's probably I don't know. That's probably something that I'd want to actually get into and actually make cheaper, because also too eventually people will understand that quantum computing is in some ways cheaper than most computing out there because of the cooling systems. Because it takes a lot. It doesn't take a lot of I'd say they try to say that it pumped up with power and everything like that. So they're gonna find a way to make it cheaper. They're gonna find a way to make it.
units reporting a reckless driver on Great Ocean Highway.
So yeah, basically when you're when you see sorry, me, hold on, shit, I'm doing something. Let's see, wait, okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to, there we go. It's gonna be a terrible heist because then we have my yeah, it's not, I'm not really doing stuff. I mean, like, I'm not taking these heists seriously or anything like that. I'm like doing, it's like, oh my god, I totally did something really terrible. It's like, I'm not really being like the people that I see on YouTube sometimes. And I'm talking about and if you just join into the conversation, or if you went to go get something to drink, I don't know, just realize that there's something out there for you, you know? What the, okay, there it is. Right. So but also understand that yeah, I need to get some more, actually. I need to get some more stuff.
Here's what I like to see. A young man with an interest in the Second Amendment.
Okay. All right.
Now don't get too crazy with that, you hear?
I'll try. Hi. But also too, I'm getting some money back. And I got him. All right. Got 120. Nice. And awesome. 81. Whatever. That sucks. Anyways, But yeah, what YouTube kind of does sometimes is create this kind of bubble, I guess, around your experience, and whatever comes to that bubble or whatever tickles your fancy, I guess, as far as what content is or how content is on your channel, whatever liked videos you have or different things like that. But it never throws a random video in there, and that's the reason why I think people don't understand is it throws a couple random videos in there, but it doesn't really throw anything out of the norm in there, and that's the reason why is that's probably, I think, the experience sometimes that kept people in YouTube even without ads, and that's the reason why I think sometimes they need to I'd say like get out the gunk out of the works, and realize that people were the whole reason why people thought that the experience was tentative and amazing is because it was so random. It was completely out there, and that's the whole point of being on YouTube, is because it's random to be able to do stuff like this and share it with other people. Experience that is random, and that's the reason why people were able to do things and get so much attention, is because everyone's like, oh my god, it's like she's speaking directly to me. Oh my gosh, that's so random. Or yeah, it's a completely random and completely I don't know, just people don't understand sometimes that's the reason why people got into YouTube in the first place. It's because it was a completely random thing, it was completely new, and it was completely random. Like, that's the real reason why they got into it. It's not just because it was new, it's because it was a lucrative, and it still is a lucrative part of people's businesses every single day. And that's the reason why I don't think sometimes people understand what those assumptions, and it's like the only people that left their ads or were leaving their ads out of things is because they didn't believe in it personally as far as their business went or their business model went. So, or they got a certain type of person in their entire I'd say advertising life, and when they realized that other people like their content that aren't that thing, they thought that somehow that would throw away the people who actually enjoyed their content, and they thought that somehow, I don't know, it's like Chick-fil-A thinking that somehow every single person that goes there doesn't like homosexuals, or they speak to different, they did do that, I think. And also, like, I don't know, it's just like thinking that your entire audience is made up of one type of person, or one to two different types of people. It's like that whole saying. It's like that whole saying means nothing. It's like, you know, there are three types of people. It's like ones that I calculate, others that I calculate, and others that I calculate. It's like, yeah, it's like the only stuff that you look at. Obviously, it's like you're only gonna see those types of people if that's the only people you look for. So that's it. And realize that liking a certain type of thing or saying a certain type of thing isn't going to stop an audience from actually seeing your content, or actually seeing what you like, or seeing how you like it. And I don't know what people are trying to say, but also too, people like trying to upvote stuff like that, like saying, hey, get a like on this if I do this, and blah 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 blah. And it's like that in itself kind of is an immature way of looking at what the YouTube experience is all about. It's like they did it because it was completely random, not because of the fact that you were on it to be able to experience it with them. They didn't do the experience because you were there. They just did it because, oh my god, it's completely amazing that he's talking to me. Holy crap, that's amazing. It's like, that's a beautiful thing. It's like, oh my gosh, how did he do that? Oh gosh, that's amazing. How did he manage to do that? It's amazing. Oh, it's so cool. It's like, yeah, it's like he's doing it on his phone. What? He's telling me about his day. They're mostly like amazed at the fact that that's happening, more than the fact that or like people would think that just because they're amazed at how random the video is, they make the video more random by doing something completely like inadvertent that you wouldn't do on a normal basis. I guess they said that like we're gonna throw a bunch of whatever, I don't know, like, we're gonna throw a bunch of pebbles in a rock, in a lake and see what's going on there, or something, I don't know. And every single thing I say is gonna sound like Rick and Morty, probably, sometimes, because I really like Rick and Morty, and I constantly think about them all the time. It's in my dreams, and, no. No, not in my dreams, but in reality, sometimes my comedy is sometimes based off that. But also too, in the same sense, I did that stuff before Rick and Morty ever did. So it was actually a popularized way of doing comedy, or like randomizing the people, I guess, randomizing your response. There you go. There it is. It's but also too, they do like, what is the word, randomized I guess, or randomized or fake randomized speak, I guess. They think that you're thinking, so that's the reason why it's funny, is because he's actually adamant about actually thinking about something. But in the same sense, there's a script. They're just, quit it, Bo. There's a script. They're just going off of it and adding the ums and the oohs and ahs and stuff like that, and loosely basing their stuff off of something else. So it's not exactly what I'd say like free form comedy, but it mimics free form comedy. So that's kind of, so but yeah, that's basically the reason why I kind of figure stuff out. I kind of get bored of it, and I also kind of realize that basically Rick and Morty and Stranger Things got my attention off stuff that I've already seen. Basically, I mean, it's not that it's bad or anything like that, or that it won't happen again, or anything like that. But realize that they pulled a fast one sometimes, and they didn't come up with exactly original content. Like, their whole story was based off something that was like it's like stuff you've seen before. It's like that's basically how YouTube made their name. It's how Rick and Morty made their name. It's how people make their names sometimes. But also, in the same sense, if you don't send in something spontaneous, or it may seem like it's all coming from the same place, and it's that in itself is kind of I'd say and in the same sense, sometimes it is coming from the same place, but and also too, like, I realized that I was watching the same stuff from the same people sometimes, and that didn't make me like, oh my god, I'm watching the same things from everyone else. Like, it's like, oh my god, if you loved everybody loves Raymond, then you're gonna love King of Queens. It's like that whole kind of stuff, like that kind of back and forth between the people, I guess, and between certain people and their significant others, like, and also too, like, I drink, and I need water because I'm talking my ass off, and I need water, so I'm gonna do that. But also too, that's the way that YouTube kind of is making itself seem more, I'd say, what they think is transparent, I guess. And also too, in the same sense, it's helping them censor a lot of different stuff that would be considered like completely offensive. But notice we've talked about let's say Nazis or the like Soviet Union sort of stuff, and people say they don't want to talk about it, or they don't want to say anything about it to make it. But it's also the context of what you're saying it about. It's like if you're trying to act like you're ignorant about something, or if you're trying to just get a rise out of someone, and I'm not gonna put in that cheat. I wanted to put in the cheat, but I'm not. If you're trying to act or get a rise out of someone just because of a certain sort of thing, you're only gonna get met with silence.
Man, fuck this shit.
But you're only gonna get met with silence, and that's the only thing you're gonna get met with, because they're gonna try to figure out what kind of person you are. Like, they're gonna be like, okay, you like this certain kind of stuff, you like this stuff, you like this stuff, you like that stuff. It's like, that's what you're trying to get, then they're gonna meet you with silence and silent treatment, I guess. But that's the point. Is in a PC culture, do we even see things? Do we even see a pattern if something is kind of like boggling our mind? I guess not boggling, but messing with our mind. If we, I don't know. I guess in a PC culture, or in a social justice culture, like with people being messed with and people being bullied in school, people say that there's bullying in everywhere, but understandably so, there are men hitting women, and no one's saying anything about that. It's like everybody needs to stop bullying, but domestic violence is terrible and it happens all the time and blah 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 blah. It's like, no, it doesn't happen all the time if those people don't have girlfriends or boyfriends. I'm not saying that those people don't deserve anything. I'm not saying those people don't get anything. But I'm also saying that eventually, if you realize that culture itself was kind of, I'd say the word, if you realize that hitting in itself is basically, it's an unsound logic, basically. Like, that's the reason why I kind of didn't want to play football anymore. I stopped immediately, and I just stopped. I just quit. I didn't do it anymore because I realized that I was no matter what, I was just going to be entertainment for somebody else all the time. And granted, you know what? That's the point of being able to make something, but I wouldn't want the tools or the instruments of my trade to be my entire body. Or to be that or to at the top of my game, or at the top of anyone's game, to be just a tool for someone else's yes, for someone else's wants or needs, or buying or merchandising, without me getting a penny out of those transactions. It's like how important is your trade, you know? How important are you to someone else? How important is your skill to someone else? Can you make a living off that stuff, that one thing by yourself, with someone else there watching you? Or will you have fans, or will you have people that are willing to pay money to see you play or see you do something? Is your autograph going to be worth anything? Is your anything going to be worth anything? Are the remnants of your life going to be worth anything to the people that you leave behind, if you ever leave, or if you're going to leave, or when you leave, or whichever one? Is anything worth that? And also, that's the thing that I don't think that YouTube is keeping in mind is what we're creating, I guess, with Disney Channel and YouTube is pocketbook celebrities. It's like, you appreciate their content, you understand what they're doing, but in the same sense, you wouldn't want to see them on any other person's TV, right? It's like, I get what I'm trying to say. I guess their pocketbook celebrities is like, hey, it's the thing that I'm watching today. It's the thing that I'm doing today. I'm watching my friend, or some people might actually believe this stuff, and people who are actually in mental capacities without a what's the word, people who are in mental capacities of lacking mental capacities. I'm sorry, it took me a while to get to that, but people who are in lacking mental capacities are always going to think that the world is for them. Okay, they're going to think that whenever they find something, it's for them and them alone. Okay, I'm not talking about nerds. I'm not talking about anyone who you think it is. I'm talking about literally people who are mentally handicapped. and believe that the world is just their oyster. And once they find something, they like that's their oyster, or that's the thing that they're going to constantly look at all the time. It's like that's what you're basing your entire, I'd say, existence off of YouTube. And I'm not saying that you're basing your existence off of the fact that people create a fantasy around what they believe in their bubble, and people don't live like that. And it really does shake them up to see different news stories, to be able to see different things and different people interact with each other in a different way. I think that, but also too, in the same sense, I'm not completely liberal as far as, or democratic as far as things go. Because sometimes I really want to see explosions, or I really want to see something actiony, or cool, or like I want to see some dude like stick it to another guy because I had a bad day, and or not stick it to another guy. That's kind of weird. It sounds weird, but I want to see another dude blow up another dude in the car and be like, "Hasta la vista, mother blah," or whatever. Like I'm not like that's funny to me because it's like you're getting rid of your old self. It's like that's what that whole thing is about. It's like, to me, it's like that whole and actually yes, I need to get rid of these cops, but I need to get a new car, so I'm gonna do that, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to make it out of this thing alive. And I'm not probably, but it's okay. But But yeah, this is the joke too. I'm actually spending all my money doing the same things over and over again. It's not like it's like that's the point of what crazy is, or what I've seen crazy to be, is the same thing over and over again. And also too, I mean, it has a lot to do with other things too. I mean, it's not just the same thing over and over again. Some people are spontaneously crazy, and that's a different kind of crazy. But it's the same concept. Same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And I guess that what people don't understand is let's see, what kind of gun do I want? Heavy light machine gun?
Units reporting shots fired at an officer near the Lafayette Causeway.
Alright. Son of a bitch.
Suspect located. We're moving in.
Alright, here we go. But yeah, that's what I think that sometimes YouTube does, or it actually makes us think, or it creates a fantasy or a bubble world, basically, that we constantly think that is the actual world. But in actuality, sometimes people don't understand the individual experience, and sometimes the individual experience is portrayed among some people's media, and people don't understand that the individual's experience is someone else telling you what everything is because of something that they saw on TV. And it's like going through media and saying, wow, that sucks, or wow, that's stupid, or wow, that's dumb, and then expecting other people to see your opinion as well. Of understanding that those people might have a completely different perception of what those pieces of media might be. So, like, it's like, for example, I said, like, I perceived a certain thing even though it was a complete lie, and I perceived a song to have no meaning, or just to believe that it was some sort of dance, like cucaracha, and yeah, because I've seen a lot of stuff with that. But the fact is that the more, I guess, we push towards social justice without the median of technology being our stepping stool, I guess the more people are going to see different things have the same value. And I think that's probably the reason why most media is doing the same thing over and over again. And also the algorithms aren't as polished or anything like that, because people are seeing that even though that people are all consuming some of the same media, their opinions are divided. And sometimes I think that that's the reason why that people come up with those algorithms and think that that will be the best possible outcome of, and also monetary gain. But I definitely want to create a discussion, and I want to see a discussion. And it kind of makes me sad, I guess, that I'll have to get a Twitter page in order to be able to have any viewers on live stream. But that's the reason why I think that that I'm gonna keep running from the cops, and I'm gonna actually rob this what's the word? Ammunition right here. Go back down this way, and we go. Alright. Sorry. Excuse me. Shit! I was gonna rob the ammunition, but it didn't work because I didn't park in front of the door. Should have thought about it before I did it. Yes. But yeah, as long as we keep consuming the same kind of media and the same kind of things, that's the reason why I like to be challenged on my opinions. Because it reminds me that I have opinions to begin with in the first place. And yes, sometimes I do forget my opinions. But in the same sense, when I'm enacted with someone actually with a different kind of opinion, it actually helps me understand myself. And I guess basically I've dealt with conflict sometimes my entire life, and maybe that's the reason why I see myself like perceived as like a person who would enjoy a certain level of conflict, but a certain but not just a certain level of conflict, but a certain level of awakening, I guess, in certain areas of my own opinions, and realizing the reasons why I believe in certain things, or the reasons why I believe in or not believe in certain things, or the reasons why I would change my opinions depending upon what people would be in my what's the word, I'd say my media consuming vicinity. Yeah. So that's the reason why I kind of think that that the way that YouTube is kind of doing certain things right now and throwing videos my way, even though I constantly don't like them sometimes, or throwing a video my way and constantly thinking that that I will like it eventually, and or saying that, or when my friends get on my YouTube channel, or my friends get on my YouTube consuming thing, or my YouTube not channel, but my YouTube account, and look up something that I find to be completely retarded. It depends on what I'm consuming, and I guess I should put more privacy on my YouTube account. But yeah, I'm pretty much it's pretty much like, and also there are people constantly observing certain YouTube channels that aren't a part of the YouTube community or the YouTube thing. Realize that, and realize that there are people, realize people are constantly trying to come up with better algorithms and better things. And I don't blame the YouTube community for but I just say that's my opinion on what things are at this very moment. I see the fact that people are split up in different things in the different ways, and the way different things pan out for different people. I realize that that once you get a notification of something, it's probably like 2 hours into a live stream, and you get a notification after they've stopped it. So I kind of wanted, but also too, I understand that also too, they're not trying to build on live streams. They're not trying to build an audience for live streams, because I can say absolutely anything I fucking want. So, but... Hello? Yeah, whatever. Anyways, is that somebody calling my phone number from the thing that I,
Oh, well, fuck you.
No, I'm not looking for a change. I don't give a shit about my current phone's theme. But understanding that, I think that was a troll from yesterday. That was really cool. Awesome. But because... Hola, ¿cómo estás? Oh, hello? Who's this? Who's this? Oh, who's this? Oh, I have an appointment at 11 for Mercy. I'm gonna stop coming to y'all. Sorry. Okay. All right. Have a good day. Bye. All right. No, it wasn't. It wasn't anyone. It was actually my medical specialist people calling me to remind me about my appointment and realizing that I already had an appointment somewhere else. So yeah, that's my medical shit. All right, cool. It wasn't somebody trolling me. It was actually someone who liked who wanted to what's the word he was looking out for me a little bit, but also too wanted me to come to an appointment at 9 o'clock in the freaking morning. I can't do that. So I mean, like in the same sense, trying to make me wake up too early. I mean, I'm already up early in the morning, but I don't feel like doing anything except live streams and drinking cereal milk because I'm done with
sorry about that.
Suspect heading onto the freeway.
Copy that, 10-4.
There it is. I saw it when I was turning it.
You can't get away. We got you surrounded.
All right.
Suspect last seen.
But yeah, that's the reason why I think that sometimes people don't understand they aren't consuming the right media. I guess is because sometimes that that media is not readily available to them, and I think that if YouTube was to create an algorithm that threw in a random video that they might not think they like or they might not know about, I don't know, just like some people think that consuming the right media all the time is the same thing, but I guess they're trying to individualize it too. So so I'm not gonna what's the word act like I know exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm not actually a computer science major. I'm more of a fine arts major or anything. Son of a bitch. All right. I'm gonna see if I can I'm gonna see if I can what's the word? I'm going to see but also too, I mean that's the only argument I have with YouTube sometimes, is that they don't throw in I see they don't throw in that's awesome. I see that that sometimes people don't understand or get sometimes what I'm trying to say or what I would be saying. People think that that I'm just some like random dude and stuff like that. In the same sense, I'm not really a random guy. I'm just some guy that likes to do makeup and art and different things like that. I realize I have to do base and let things dry on paintings and stuff like that, so I'm not gonna mess up my makeup for Halloween anymore. But there's also other stuff that I can dress up as, or do stuff as. So, but I'm not gonna dress up at any cons because I don't really I support it, but I don't really do it, because I also know that some dudes like I see like women do it and stuff like that, and that's cool. But I see that dudes more often try to sexualize themselves more than women do. Like even if a woman's doing lewds and stuff like that, she'll still have like a tasteful lewd or like a tasteful something. Like she'll be true to the character at least. That's what I mean by tasteful, actually. True to what she's doing. A dude will like just have his abs all out and shit like that, and it's fucking stupid. I mean, I'm not trying to look at like dude's abs all the time. It's like, I mean, I also get ab envy, I guess, but I'll get ab envy, but also too, that's probably the reason why I don't. That's really the reason why I don't follow a lot of guys in cosplay. I do SKS props. That's pretty cool. He does a lot of I'd say what's the word, connect builds, kind of, I guess. It all kinds of like fits into where the profile is on the build, I guess, and all that stuff like completely and utterly goes together. But also I know that he gets like his inspiration from some sort of some different avenues, and son of a bitch, I knew that would happen, and I'm dead. Oh, I'm not. Yeah, awesome. But yeah, that's the people I follow that are mostly do cosplay and stuff like that. People who do builds and women who do lewds sometimes, but also character appropriate lewds, because I'm not gonna just, you're not gonna just like tell me that oh like, I mean, but she's like, I'd say the most I'd say lewdest person I follow in cosplay is probably either, I'd say either Jessica Negri or Meg Turney. That's probably like the two that I follow, and only because I like the way they do their makeup, I like the way they do their stuff, and also they inspire me, so it makes me feel good a little bit every day when I'm not doing something, and I realize that eventually I could do something pretty awesome. And also that's like the biggest, I think, people that I follow that are about that. But also in the same sense, I follow people that are like, they do like weirdly demonic stuff, or like, because the sense of the fact is I don't believe in it, so it really wouldn't affect me either way. But also I look at people that do like mercy or like angelic characters or something like that too. So that's kind of the thing that I do. I constantly look up goth lore or industrial metal or like fetish stuff or something like that, to try and get like some sort of inspiration to where I can see like stuff that would closely fit a character or anything like that, and I try to do stuff that would inspire me on certain levels, I guess. I don't know, because I don't know. I do kind of stuff that involves like certain wares or something like that. And I think I see that like almost everything has already been done, I guess, as far as things go. So that's the reason why I think that also people are recycling media too, is because they think that everything has already been done. And I have a few ideas, so I'm not really gonna share them, but not right now, because obviously it's on the platform to do that. But also too, I have a few ideas that could probably revolutionize the way that people see themselves, I guess, in media, you know? And I'm going down, obviously, it's going down. And I'm gonna die. Awesome, I died. Son of a bitch, I should have... But yeah. That's the reason why I think that sometimes I said people don't understand the fact that sometimes they're in their bubble, and when they realize they're in their bubble, they're like, wow, what the fuck was I thinking? This is crazy retarded. So and also oh, that's a badass tattoo. but understanding the need and the want for I'd say more randomized searches and more randomized different things like I'm just gonna put in a cheat because I don't give a shit anymore. But understanding that you're a media consumer and you're important to a lot of different companies. Even your weird stuff that you look up, like the Wachowski brothers thought that they would hit an audience with The Matrix, and in some cases they found that they made a conversation about what it means as far as existentialism within religion, or even metaphoricalism in religion. So there's so many different conversations that could actually happen, and so many different people that could actually comment on it. But within the facets of YouTube, people have constantly been able to make a name for themselves through the mediocrity of sameness, and I don't get sometimes that whenever people are actually consuming media, whether they just leave it running or if there's a team of people that just leave it running, or because think about it too. It's like, and also that might also account for maybe 1% of the actual media consuming, or consuming media that actually does stuff, but that actually does not doesn't do things. It makes memes, or you saw that whole thing of that dude putting on that 10-hour special of the Lord of the Rings stuff, that 10-hour freaking compilation of just that dude going back and forth. What's his name? God dang it, I can't remember his name, but and also it's probably copyrighted, so. I can remember his colors, the gray and the white, I can only remember Sauron. I can only remember the evil shit and the stuff that he did with his ring. That's it, right now. That's all I can remember. So, but yeah, but that's only because I'm doing stuff right now, and I'll probably remember it later. So, alright, let's get out of here, and I'm gonna go see if I can pull off the bank heist. Alright? So, and I knew this would have a dude right there, and I knocked him in the air. Yeah! Awesome. Shit, I'm probably gonna be killed before I go back to do anything else. So, but yeah, understanding what media means to you and how it means it to you is the biggest part of what you consume media is about. Realizing that media can constantly change, and people can constantly change within it, is the only constant in media. And realizing that you are a force to be reckoned with as a consumer, and realize that your experience is the main thing that they're looking for. What is your experience and how is your experience? And that's what they'll consume. They'll bend media to be able to fit is the consumer. So realize that you're basically the master of your own controls, and eventually people will understand that I guess their dirty fetishes will come to light, and that will actually sometimes be the mainstream, because people will try to sell things like goth hoodies and a whole bunch of different kinds of black clothing, or like a Hail Satan hoodie, or a Praise Jesus backpack. Because that's what media does. That's what people in media do. They sell things to people who think that somehow their ideas and things coexist with certain things. So, that's a frickin' emulation. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Is that emulation? No, it's not emulation. I ran myself into a trap. Awesome, I saw it. But yeah, that's the reason why. That's the reason why I think that sometimes people don't understand what media does for them, or what media should be doing for them. They shouldn't be experiencing just one type of media, like giving someone a monopoly in a stake that if they were seen on the front lines, then they wouldn't be consumed as far as media went at all. Like a man, I mean, it's like I'm not trying to call exactly anyone out, but I'm also not trying to say that people realize, and people should realize, that there sometimes is a monopoly on what they consume in media. There sometimes is a monopoly on what they see as the norm as far as what the normal is, depending upon what their I'd say particular particular brand of what they want to look at every day is. And yeah, people can say that it's not what I'm doing, or I'm a different from the rest. And it's like, yeah, you're different from the rest. Are you spontaneous enough to be able to keep someone else's attention for a certain amount of time? It's like, I can't even keep a viewer. I really can't. Like, I can't even keep a live stream viewer. Even when they come on, they're like, hey, Ollie Rod's the time, and I'm just like, it's funny, it's cool, but I mean, yeah, you made my live stream a little bit more enjoyable for me. But I mean, it's like, come on, you know, try a little bit harder, you know, do a little bit more stuff with your verbs and stuff, you know, that kind of stuff. And I've liked certain media before, and people have just because people are out of the public eye, people are wanted to see that a person not do well, I guess. I don't see a person as a certain sort of thing unless it's confirmed with a news story, and I've seen the YouTube community be able to be completely vicious towards each other. And I don't find that to be very conducive to their actual monetarily making stuff, because that's probably the reason why they lost ads in the first place.
Something don't feel too good.
It probably had nothing to do with any sort of Nazi talk or stupid shit or memes or dumb shit. It had to do with the people who were consuming those things and coming up with different ideas about the way to be able to portray that message, or to be able to portray that thing. Because the dude that put it up there was like, I don't give a shit about this stuff. It's funny. Because it's funny to me. And also too, sometimes hurting yourself or thinking that you're hurting other people is funny. Because this is like funny. The idea of hurting someone that doesn't matter is funny. But understandably so. And I'm not don't quote me on this, because and I don't want to be the dude that says that hurting people is funny, but hurting someone that they think doesn't matter is funny. But understandably so, they and I redid that, but they're probably gonna quote me on that. It's gonna be great. Or they're probably not gonna quote me on that, and it doesn't fucking matter. But understandably so, this is all code. This is all just a game. This is all just something that is dumb. And just because someone sees a frog and a Nazi symbol, they're just like, oh my god, that meme is offensive. It's like, how is that offensive? It's like, first of all, if you're and also the thing that happened with PewDiePie or whatever or something like that, I wasn't really into it, because I wasn't really into him to begin with. It really was nothing to me, and I think that sometimes people actually do run things with bots. I mean, I'm not saying that, I'm not accusing PewDiePie of anything or anything like that. I'm just saying that, unbeknownst to some people, sometimes people run things with fake profiles, and in some cases, literally, you can make a YouTube profile in minutes, and people can make conversations up. I could be making conversations up. That's probably the reason why I'm not getting any views, because it's so little and so precise, I guess, to me. And people don't think that YouTubers or people of any stature can think that fast sometimes, but I can, and I did. So yeah, that's probably the reason why our YouTube channels or accounts are being, I'd say, not blocked, but say breeded for a certain type of or hand fed for a certain type of media. Because I mean, I guess sometimes people find that there is a certain type of media that has money in it, and that's the whole reason. Like I'm saying that, I'm going back to the same point that I said before, is there are so many types of media out there that people actually choose to push, or to not even push, or to do something funny and for like a one-off, or anything like that. And I know that it sounds like there's not that much money in it, but that's the point about YouTube that people miss and people forget. It's like every once in a while you see that you built something, and it's like, yeah, you built something, but what about the dude that's trying to build something? And I'm not saying that I'm what's the word, that I'm like have a cause behind me, because I'm talking about mental health, and I'm talking about the way that it affects people inside and out, because it affected me inside, and it made me think that in some ways that we are built as a culture because of the things we are without. And in some ways that sounds very true, because and in those ways it speaks to not only just what happens on YouTube, but what happens in real life. And it seems to me that sometimes people see a certain culture of a person or a certain brand of comedy, and they're like, wow, I don't like that stuff. And I'm not saying that they're insensitive to anything. It's just they don't appreciate the fact of not being able to see that for a long time, or not being able to see that thing. It's like they don't experience it the same, because sometimes they don't experience the same thing. They're like, they see a whole bunch of that on an everyday scale, you know, and like and in any case, it probably would cause our society, I say, as far as the youth, to become more divided sometimes on issues that are completely obscure and wouldn't actually make any difference whether or not YouTube would have made it and also it's not corruption. It really isn't, and people need to understand that it's not corruption. And yes, I was trying to make that car explode because it was funny, and that's the reason why. So yeah. So yeah, I'm talking about consuming media, and the fact that sometimes algorithms and different things can cause us to have a bubble, or to have a certain area of what we perceive as truth. But there are so many other truths out there, whether or not there is an opinion of something happening inside of someone else's truth, or truth bubble, or a view bubble, or anything like that. Because we are listening in a bubble. We don't have world views or anything like that. We see things that we like. We see things that not what we like. Sometimes we see things that stimulate our brain, or teach us something new, or don't teach us something new, or teach us something that we already know, or help us become a little bit better at the things that we already know. We know, but in the same sense, I just burped, and whatever, you know. But in the same sense, people don't understand that those things can cause a bigger rift in what people think than the way people are right now. Because there are people out there that think that just because they do something of a confident order, that they are confident, or that they would be confident constantly, or that oh, you don't know anything about this. And it's like, people do have a grasping concept about that, and if you believe that people don't know anything about that, and basically people are just trying to be confident, or be to be confident at something that someone else isn't that confident at, or to be, and also too, in the same sense, technology and technology whizzes do the same thing. They say that other people don't know anything that they're doing, and that's the way that, and that's the thing that I think college culture is doing the same thing too. And I'm not pointing any fingers or anything like that, but that's what the last generation actually thought. That's what our last generation ran into as far as walls. As far as walls, they ran into not being able to figure things out and constantly thinking that they did something wrong, or constantly thinking that they did something stupid or dumb, and they were going to get judged for it constantly. We don't live with those same walls, and sometimes we act like we are, and I'm not saying anything about as far as Democrat, Republican, liberal, or conservative, or anything like that, or in any facet in between, because we don't even think about things in between sometimes. When we're thinking about what I'd say what Hillary Clinton I think would have done if, I think also too, I didn't believe in the Paris climate change. I really didn't. I really only believed that what people were trying to do was limit the amount of money that sometimes the America spends sometimes on certain kinds of things. And also too, in that same sense, if they were to limit the amount of spending that our private companies actually do, be able to put a cap on what private companies do on other terms, and then sometimes they'd be able to say that, okay, if they're here, then they're not here. If they're here, then they're not there. If they're there, then they're not there. And that, in the same sense, would actually allow people to be able to, that would actually be a national security threat, eventually. So, and yes, I'm ballparking my ass off, but understandably so, that eventually could be a thing. And yes, people can use certain graphs and certain things to be able to make themselves have a better attack plan if they were ever to be able to become a terrorist organization, or be able to harass people when they're on their own. And that's the American way, is to be able to allow people with the freedom of speech and the freedom of be able to voice their opinions and to be able to live under an umbrella of safety whenever they're saying that stuff, whenever they are saying that stuff. But when they actively seek people out to try to destroy their lives, or actually try to seek people out to try to make their day a worse day, then that's harassment, and that's not a thing that you need to do. And I'm not saying that I'm not condoning any violence whatsoever. And people can say that that's a pedestal, or people can say that that's a thing, but that's a thing that everyone does. But in doing so, and doing one thing, and seeing one person who believes in a certain thing that other people don't believe in, see the pavement, or see the gravel, or fall on their face in a certain manner of speaking, or have someone put their face in the dirt for a manner of speaking. There are 20 of those other people who believe in the same thing that will go out and hurt someone else. At least 20. At least. For every person that they chase down a road, for every person that the cops chase or the military chases down a road, to be able to see what they're doing, or what they're up to, or if they're running from the law, or if they're running from anything.
Blue sports car.
There are 20 people sympathetic to their cause. People are making cubby holes, and I see it in everyday life. They're making cubby holes for anyone to be able to be a part of. And they're making those cubby holes because they want to destroy America. They want to destroy what America stands for. And to realize that people in bubbles is what puts people in a certain position to be hurt sometimes. That's the reason why I think that sometimes it would be un-American to not have spontaneity, or just some sort of freedom of speech article, or anything like that, or anything that people wouldn't normally see, like give a liberal a Republican story, or a Republican viewpoint, or anything like that, to be able to make them and see that, and also be able to see a Republican give them a liberal story and see something that happened as far as the humanitarian work. See what that makes us a diverse country, and it makes us a diverse place to be at. Is because we don't absolutely have to think about the same thing every single day, or the same idea all the time, every single day of our lives. We don't have to think about it. We have the choice to just walk away, and literally there is no consequence of just us not getting another job in that thing for a little while. That is the consequence. That is the thing. People will be like, oh no, you need a grace period, or whatever. Or that's probably the way that you need to do things. Or even, I mean, think about it. Is every single person all evil? Okay? Do we blame every single person out there that is a part of a multinational corporation? Or do we realize that eventually the millions of dollars that they'll be putting into something will be available for society and people to buy, or people to put into their own economy, or for people to be able to dismantle or take apart? And I'm not saying that we're on the cusp of being able to be the masters of technology as far as the world goes, but I'm saying that we'd be a player. And I think that sometimes what people do, and I know I realized that there was a flagpole there. I was just checking to see if it would make me fly out the car, and it did. But also, I'm not getting too much of a political speech. Is that sometimes people call it, oh, it's a nuisance, oh, it's something else, or something like that, and that's their personal opinion. They can say that, oh, I don't like that, or oh man, that's something I don't want to watch. It's like you realize that yes, that's something you don't want to watch, but eventually, if you don't want to watch it for a really long time, it'll bite your ass. It'll bite you in the ass. It'll eventually bite you in the ass. Like, yeah, you don't want to watch this stuff, but eventually, the things that you don't see, the things that you don't appear to notice, will be your downfall, or will be the thing that you see, and that's not the Art of War or anything like that. I never read the Art of War because it was too long and annoying and shit. But yeah, it was in the bathroom of one of my friends' bathrooms, and I could have read it, but I didn't, because it's like the Tale of Two Cities. It's like Much Ado About Nothing. Any author, I guess, could be seen as that if they go into descriptive terms for way too long and talk about different things and people the way they are in a certain era. Because people change, and people do change a lot. And if you don't understand that people change, then you don't understand that this needs to change. And I think that it does. I think that what people can change every single day can make them believe in something a little bit more along the lines of what they need to be seeing sometimes, and also what they want to see. But if it stresses them out, also too, they can just watch a little bit of it and realize that it happened. Because the more we become illiterate to the things going on around us, the more we stay in our little bubble, or the more we work out our worldview instead of realizing that the world is the world whether we view it or not. Or the YouTube is going to be YouTube whether we think that it's good for us, bad for us, or anything like that. It's going to be what it's going to be, no matter what. And realizing that, in my case, sometimes is the hardest thing, to be able to see that people themselves are starting to just become antisocial because of certain things and certain people and certain opinions sometimes that make them a little bit scared about what they're going to do for the rest of their lives, or about what they're going to do for the lives that they love, for the lives that they feel as though could be something that they make themselves into. If they make themselves into I say mute and don't say a word in front of people who are I'd say like just a little bit more assertive, or asserting or anything like that. And I'm not saying that because I argue a lot, so I'm not like it's not like I'm like the main thing people need to look at or something like that. But especially on YouTube, not even on YouTube. But I think that a discussion needs to be made, and a discussion needs to be made of importance, of the fact that whenever, because I noticed this on every single time I've done something. It's like when I look up stuff, when I look up certain different things, it all has to do with the same stuff. And the only reason why I'm looking at certain different stuff is because I looked it up months before, and it's showing me the same thing over and over, or it's showing me the same proceedings over and over again, or showing me the same person over and over again. And also, if that person's doing the same things over and over again, then sometimes I don't want to see them anymore. It's like if that person's doing the same brand of comedy for literally, I'd say like, or even though if I like the comedy, realize that I kind of am a consumer, and I like different things, you know. And also there are certain comedians that don't really speak to me, I guess, but understandably so. I didn't know there was a rock there. Realize that there are so many reasons why people consume media. And people don't just consume media to be able to be a certain person, or to be able to see something through a certain lens. And also, sometimes people do things because they couldn't see themselves doing anything else. And I don't get that sometimes, because I can see myself doing a whole bunch of different stuff. I can see myself doing a lot of stuff, and even though I see myself doing something that that other people don't see themselves doing, like, realize that you can create anything, and the limits of your government are probably the only thing that could possibly push you in a direction that would be a different thing. And I'm gonna go down now. It's gonna go down. It's going down. Ah, shit. Alright, here we go. Is that the end of it? And my motorcycle's still going down. Shit. Yeah, I'm dead. Alright. And if I didn't talk so much, I probably wouldn't be messing up so much on Grand Theft Auto. So, but maybe I should play a different game. I'm gonna get a different game anyways, so, bear with me as I get a different game. And I'm not gonna ask for money or anything like that. I just think that there should be discussions about the way that people consume media sometimes, and the way that people consume media in not only YouTube but in real life as well. Because people can consume constant opinions about the same certain things, and not see the fact that they're losing, I guess, in a battle of wits with another certain opinions, a certain person's opinion that's gaining more tread, or different things like that. And people need to understand that just because we consume does not mean we act, or with action. But other things like that, people think that sometimes they need to do action to be able to see through a certain guise, but understandably so. That guise was merely put there for themselves to consume media. So, it's a bubble, and get away from me. And yeah. Really, people need to understand that that there are so many things out there that that could actually harm them, and it has nothing to do with just consuming the same media over and over and over again. And I really, really wish that people would understand that that there are so many different things that people and that's the reason why is realize that no matter what, when someone comes up with an idea, people run with it. And when someone comes up with something, some sort of media platform, people run with it, and people do things that are spontaneous. And I think that it's not the thing that were new that was making it that was making things seem new, I guess. What people need to understand is that I guess that's the reason why sometimes people didn't understand that
Oh my God!
but that's the thing they were looking for, and not the popularity ring of people just constantly I don't know, you know, just alright, let's do some celebration time.
We've got a civilian in need of assistance close to the Paula Springs tramway.
Son of a bitch! No, don't kill me! Okay, cool, awesome. Not dead. Not dead. Alright. So, let's get back.
Northbound near
Safe distance.
the Paula Springs tramway.
There we go. Yay.
Let's see those hands right now.
Officers report a criminal resisting arrest close to the Paula Springs tramway.
Alright, cool.
Officers report
But understanding,
an attack on a vehicle
understanding
close
that,
to,
yeah, I understand that.
the Paula Springs tramway.
Oh, but alright,
We have
understanding that,
415 near the Paula Springs tramway.
but there are so many different kinds of media that people actually do produce, and there are different kinds of media that people actually do put in circulation on YouTube and anywhere, and there are so many different kinds of people that make sure that media can be consumed, and I think that they can't do all the work, but I think that an algorithm could, and a new algorithm probably could, and actually if you threw a little bit more of not just differing opinions, but new media and new things, and actual media that actually is in my area sometimes. Because that's the reason why sometimes I don't understand, and I do understand what's going on. It's just I don't understand that I don't understand why they don't own stuff around here, or they don't own stuff in certain areas and stuff like that. Or they didn't plan for this. You know? God damn it. Get it done. Son of a bitch. Alright, I think that's it for my opinions, and I think that's it for game therapy for right now. I see a loss. I come at a loss for words because of the amount of time that I've spent trying to come up with certain discussions, and certain people, I guess just trying to make that name for themselves, you know. I'm not really adjusted to take like a lot of comments or a lot of different stuff, but I'm also not adjusted in a certain way to be able to see that I also am adjusted in a certain way to see that the lack of that is probably because of my message bar, and it's probably the reasons why some people on a certain platform aren't promoting me, but understandably so, or even people aren't actually getting a part of my discussions because of the way that I reacted to certain people, and realized that no, I don't want exactly just followers, but I want a discussion, and yes, that's what I want, and also I want to be able to reach as many people as possible, but I want to reach people not who are like-minded, but who can cause and say differing opinions, and I guess I not to say that I haven't reached that yet, because there are people that make a decision, and there are people that do different things and have different opinions, and sometimes they're extremes, sometimes they're not. And also, I didn't become friends with a certain person because of that simple fact, but only because I didn't get to see that person as a whole. You know, I didn't get to see that person. And also, I mean, eventually they could realize that, I mean, that I'm a bot, you know? If I'm a bot, what about me? I sound like a bot sometimes. I could be. But I'm not. So, so thank you for listening, and yes, I know sometimes that don't make sense a little bit, because I'm not actually doing this from any paper, but I am planning it out sometimes in my own head, and I just say it. So I'm not a good writer. So thank you for listening, and this has been Game Therapy with Joe Bomb Squad.
Hello?
And you are
Hey
you're
man,
on Bomb
yeah,
Squad.
I'm totally depressed.
So
You're right. This
and also the
country's going
game
down
does
the
that. It's like it has people walk in front of you and say like, yeah, dude, I'm so depressed. Oh my gosh, I'm not moving at all. And it's like the same thing that that YouTube kind of does. Is they try to see what kind of different things that you're into, and see what kind of stuff you're into just by some of the words you put out or the comments you put out or any kind of different things like that. So just tell me what you think, and if you like this kind of format, and if you don't, then I'll probably change it. But I do want to make a discussion, and I do want people to actually have opinions about it. And if they don't have opinions about stuff, then that's pretty much cool. And if they would just want to watch, then that's okay too. But I do stupid shit, and I talk about dumb stuff. So comparatively speaking to and not really dumb stuff, but I talk about dumb stuff. So all right. But it's my game therapy, and you all owe me close to upwards to $2,000 now because of these sessions we're going through, and all 0 of you, and thank you very much for listening if you ever do, and this has been Game Therapy with your Bomb Squad. You are your own Bomb Squad, and I said that a lot, but I don't give a shit. It's a live stream. And I don't have any lines. Yay! Y'all have a good day.